I'm staying focused on what I'm gonna be. I'm making that down, but I won't lose ground. 'Cause I'm still starting my destiny. I'm still starting my destiny.
Every time it's on everything, the life you cheesing, I'm cheddaring. No matter the form of the weaponry, God keeps stalking my destiny. Time's getting worse, I'm bettering. My sin is secure, ain't no tethering. I ain't gonna stop till I rest in peace and they put a hold on my great lettering. Every time, I ain't lay back unless I'm in my 300. Circle is little, cause I keep it 100. Minus my issues, I'm so hard when I'm on it. 100% ain't enough, I get 200. Every time, know what I'ma run from. I'm that one opponent, you don't want none from. Manual van where my strength get pumped from. So it's the lie to a child of God. Standing toe to toe, hot now. The Lord is with me, you can't fight the rock. I got the sauce, you want out of high. The destiny mine, I'ma stalk it out. The strength assassin, you just bought it out. Your giant carcass, I'ma walk it out. You gon' be wishing that you wouldn't have called me out. Cause every time be on that throw down, let's get us a showdown. Come and get some, I got another go around. Big as it is, so hard they go down. Since destiny something we can't change, but quitting will stop you from great gains. And faith will make capable great things. I done decided to break pain. Move around and call me on my A game. So speed like the A train. The path that I'm stalking on, I gotta maintain. I'm by myself, I don't gang bang. When you want to get in my crown, then I'm down every time, not just now and then. Yeah, I heard you got your thousands, but me, yo, I got my 10,000s. God gave me dreams doing that, I would chest it.
I'm steady chasing, I'm staying focused on what I'm gonna be. I'm making it up, but I won't lose ground. 'Cause I'm still starting my destiny. I'm still starting my destiny.
Good afternoon. What up, BFAM 1096.com? What up, Facebook? How y'all doing? YouTube. This is Tea Time with Tara, live and on air. I am your host, Tara M. Williams, the voice of faith, hope, love, and leadership. Here we discuss business and Bible basics. We believe you have a voice and it needs to be heard. Be sure to head over to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, y'all. Be sure to head over there, like and subscribe to the channel. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We're here every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, while you're on my YouTube page, don't forget to check out season 1 and season 2 of the Tea Time with Tara show, where I interview guests and ask them what they need along the way to stalk their destiny, y'all. If you want to connect with me, you can connect with me on TikTok at Stalk Your Destiny, Instagram at Stalk Your Destiny Official, or Facebook at Tara M. Williams. Okay. Again, I am Tara M. Williams, the voice of faith, hope, love, and leadership. Y'all, welcome to Tea Time with Tara, live and on air. All right. And y'all have to shout out our viewer. I'm probably going to shout her out a couple times in the show because I don't know when she's going to get on. But Sheila, thank you for our business topic for today. We will be talking about self-respect. And that's because you asked about it, not last week, but the week before. So thank you for doing that. And I got to shout me out, y'all, because this is the time where we do shouting out our sponsors. So shout out to Stalk Your Destiny for sponsoring the show this month. And I've been a sponsor of the show since I started the show, really. You can be a sponsor too, y'all. If you love the content, if you love the encouragement, y'all are listening in. So if you love what you're hearing, not only share it with somebody. Hi, Sheila. Hey, everybody. So not only can you guys listen in and share the content, because I see that you guys are listening in, but consider being a sponsor, y'all, because this is one of the spots where I would shout you out in the show. And speaking of Stalk Your Destiny, y'all know we get our food for thought quote from ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny, my book, ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny. Okay, that's where we've been getting all of our food for thought quotes from for the entirety of the show. So today is my business 10-year anniversary, y'all. And so it's really important that I'm here with you guys. It's exciting for me. And I guess I'll tell you guys more about my journey in business as well when we get into the business topic of self-respect, okay? Because you can have ups and downs and all of that, but we'll get into that later, okay? So for now, let's go ahead and dive into the food for thought quote of the day, which comes from the last chapter of the book titled Zeal. So when the ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny, it comes from the chapter titled Zeal. Thank you. It says happy 10 years in business to Tara and Tea Time with Tara. Thank you. I think that's from DC. Thank you, DC. So here, the food for thought quote for today says, you never know who is watching and inspired by your actions and the way you go after your dreams. Okay, so totally on point. I actually had this show scheduled for last week, but it's perfect for today that this is the topic. You never know who is watching and inspired by your actions and the way you go after your dreams. So let me tell y'all about Stalk Your Destiny a little bit. Okay, so with Stalk Your Destiny, the thing about it is that, like, people are like, why do you call it Stalk Your Destiny? And some people say, are you a stalker? And I'm like, absolutely. Absolutely, I'm a stalker, because stalkers, we know. Thank you, Sheila. She says, wow, 10 years. Congratulations. Thank you again in advance. Yes, ma'am. It's so much more to come. Okay. So much more to come with this company for you all. I wake up every day to change lives. And with this, what was I saying? Because you don't know who's watching and inspired by your actions and how you go after your dreams. So as a stalker, right? We know stalkers as people that go after things that do not belong to them. Okay. They're the crazies. They get arrested. They fall out of trees. They risk their lives. They do not care. They are relentless in pursuit of their goal. The only difference with them versus Stalk Your Destiny is that our destiny is the one thing that belongs to us. Our destiny is the one thing we have pure ownership over. We can be relentless in pursuit of our destiny. But with that, what I find is the one thing we give up on the most is our dreams. The one thing we give up on the most are our goals to be something that we can be proud of, to be something that we love. We give up on that. And so with Stalk Your Destiny, 10 years ago today, I decided from a broken place, I'm probably going to get into it with the business topic, but I decided to change my own life. I decided to become a stalker of my destiny. And it started with me asking God, who am I? Where am I in my life right now? Why am I here? And where are we going with this? Because life can get so hard that you get stuck there. And I was at the point where I lost my identity and I got stuck there. Like, I got stuck in being a mother. I got stuck in being a wife, at the time. And so you can get stuck in circumstances. Okay. But how you overcome those things, I have a track. I always like to talk about my track record. Okay. In different areas of life or whatever, whatever have you. Your track records speak for you. Okay. I'm not talking about like a reputation, but you can literally go back and see how I did these things and overcame these things, and maybe that is a reputation. I have a reputation, I would say, then, since we're going to use that word, I have a reputation of overcoming with grace. And I don't even think that it's intentional. I think that I overcome with grace because I feel that I'm a stalker. Stalkers don't quit. I have no choice but to overcome each and every obstacle placed before me. But I had a therapist in the past say, Tara, you're a little different. You're a little weird. And I'm like, what do you mean? She said, you don't just overcome obstacles. You run towards challenges instead of running from them. And the thing about it is, she was watching me overcome. And I would never expect her to say something to me like, I've seen you do this. Or there's a young lady I call my grown daughter. And she was the one that mentioned how graceful I am in overcoming things. And I'm just like, girl, this is hard. Like, I'm not overcoming things easily as in pursuit of my dreams and my purpose. I'm not overcoming them easily, but she sees that. And she's like, but the way that you traverse it is so graceful, so you absolutely never know who is watching you and inspired by what you do. And again, I'm going to get off into that more into the business topic, because I have to tell you all about how I even got to this show, Okay. I'll tell you a little more about it. And I think when I started the show, I told you guys I was going to open up more and let you know more about me. I'm learning how to do that, because I've also recognized that I can be very transparent and very vague at the same time. And that is probably for the sake of just getting to the messages. But hopefully today I can give you as much detail as possible to change your life. Give you as much details as possible to propel you forward as well. Okay, so that was the food for thought quote, y'all. It came from the chapter Zeal in my book ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny. It just said you never know who's watching and inspired by your actions and the way you go after your dreams. But listen, get up and do it. Go after your dreams. Okay, we gonna talk more about it because it takes self-respect, and that's the business topic later for today. Okay. So let's get into this devotional, y'all. For those of you who don't know, we are, let me try to make sure y'all can see that. We're in my book, Earthly Branches, a 12-book devotional series. We are in the book Enlightenment. We're actually at the last week for this particular devotional. Okay. And we are, let me see. I think I'm going to read all of this if it's in here. We are in Romans 3. This is coming from Romans 3 today. And I'm going to read all of it, so bear with me through it because it's a lot of information, but it's good stuff. Okay. So Romans 3 says, it starts off with God's faithfulness. This is verse 1 through 8. Okay. And it says, what advantage then is there in being a Jew, or what value is there in circumcision? Much in every way. First of all, the Jews have been entrusted with the very words of God. What if some were unfaithful? Will their unfaithfulness nullify God's faithfulness? Not at all. Let God be true and every human be a liar, as it is written, so that you may be proved right when you speak and prevail when you judge. But if our unrighteousness brings out God's righteousness more clearly, what shall we say? That God is unjust in bringing his wrath on us? And it's in parentheses, it says, I am using human argument. Certainly not. If that were so, how could God judge the world? Someone might argue, if my falsehood enhances God's truthfulness and so increases his glory, why am I still condemned as a sinner? Why not say, as some slanderously claim, that we say, let us do evil that good may result? Their condemnation is just, right? That was about God's faithfulness. So let's see here. I think I'm going to read it all, and then I'm going to go through the talks about it, okay? I'm going to just read it all, then I'll go through the talks about it. So the second part here is no one is righteous. This is verse 9 through 20. No one is righteous, okay? So the first one was God's faithfulness. The second part of it, and this is all Romans 3, verse 9 through 20 is where I'm at. No one is righteous. What shall we conclude then? Do we have any advantage? Not at all. For we have already made the charge that Jews and Gentiles alike are all under the power of sin. As it is written, there is no one righteous, not even one. There is no one who understands. There is no one who seeks God. All have turned away. They have together become worthless. There is no one who does good, not even one. Their throats are open graves. Their tongues practice deceit. The poison of vipers is on their lips. Their mouths are full of cursing and bitterness. Their feet are swift to shed blood. Ruin and misery mark their ways, and the way of peace they do not know. There is no fear of God before their eyes. Now we know that whatever the law says, it says to those who are under the law, so that every mouth may be silenced and the whole world held accountable to God. Therefore, no one will be declared righteous in God's sight by the works of the law. Rather, through the law, we become conscious of our sin. Okay. Now, y'all know we're not religious on this channel. Okay. On this show. It's not a religious show. It is business and Bible basics, though. So we're going to get the word in. Okay. So let's go forward. It's righteousness through faith is Romans 21 through 31. Okay. Righteousness through faith. And then I'm going to talk about it. Okay. But now, apart from the law, the righteousness of God has been made known, to which the law and the prophets testify. This righteousness is given through faith in Jesus Christ to all who believe. There is no difference between Jew and Gentile, for all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. And all are justified freely by his grace through the redemption that came by Jesus Christ. God presented Christ as a sacrifice of atonement through the shedding of his blood to be received by faith. He did this to demonstrate his righteousness because in his forbearance, he had left the sins committed beforehand unpunished. Okay. He did it to demonstrate his righteousness at the present time, so as to be just and the one who justifies those who have faith in Jesus. Where then is boasting? It is excluded because of what law? The law that requires works? No, because of the law that requires faith. For we maintain that a person is justified by faith apart from the work of the law. Or is God the God of Jews only? Is he not the God of Gentiles too? Yes, of Gentiles too, since there is only one God who will justify the circumcised by faith, the uncircumcised through that same faith. Do we then nullify the law by this faith? Not at all. Rather, we uphold the law. Okay. Now y'all also know this ain't political. I hope y'all don't get lost when I read the scriptures to y'all for the devotional time of the show. We're not a political show. We are not a religious show. All right. So stay with me. So in this devotional that we're in, enlightenment. Okay. It's all about enlightenment right now. Point number 1 says, whether we have faith or not, God is still faithful. This does not give us a pass to do evil. Rather, it gives us the opportunity to act even when our faith lacks. His word is true. The daily focus here says God is faithful even when we are not. And then the question of the day says, do you take God at his word? Y'all, do you take God at his word? And honestly, when it comes down to self-respect, a lot of the things with how we treat ourselves and things to think of ourselves is connected to our relationship with God and our thoughts toward God, believe it or not. And God's faithful even when we're not. Like when you don't have it for yourself, God has it for you. And I just wonder, if you all know that, because we can be so hard on ourselves and we can, you want to punish yourself for thinking wrong or doing wrong or, messing things up. And it's like, God is like, bro, I'm right here. I ain't go nowhere, and I constantly have to tell my sons that. I'm like, listen, God's love is everywhere. So if you need help, just say, God, I need you. If you need support, just say, God, I need you. God is always right there. He's omnipresent, right? Omnipresent. So he's faithful even when we're not. Okay. So point number 2 here says, no one is righteous. We all fall short of his glory. Under the same heaven are we all. There is nothing new under the sun, and all sin. The daily focus here says there is only one God of all. And the question for the day here says, are you better than anyone else? Now, we don't mean are you better at the job that you perform. We don't mean are you better at how you treat people or anything, but it's just like we're all human. We all have sin. We all have hurt. We all have pain. We all have glory. We all have talents. We all have gifts. Are you better than anyone else? Point number 3 says, now we know that whatever the law says, it says to those under the law, so that every mouth may be silenced and the whole world held accountable to God. And I wrote here, just think about that. Just think about that. The daily focus here says we should be conscious of sin through the law. And then the question for the day here says, are you operating under the law? I don't know about you guys, but I operate by faith. So that, I guess that's something for you to answer for yourself. Are you operating under the law? I'm operating by faith. That's all I know how to do, is believe and keep on believing and make others believe by being an example of faith, hope, and love and leadership in the earth. Okay. So point number 4 here, it says prophets and the law know of the righteousness from God. Faith in Jesus Christ is how it comes. Our justification came through the redemption by Jesus Christ, and God made him a sacrifice through faith. The daily focus here says God justifies those who have faith in Jesus. And the question for the day here says, where does your faith lie? What do you put your faith in? Like, we hear that faith comes by hearing and hearing by the word of God. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. Faith comes by hearing, but you got to pay attention to what you're paying attention to, what you're giving ear to. Because faith can come by seeing, hearing, your gates. You have to guard your gates, right? Speaking, feeling, you putting your faith in things through your senses. And I think I actually did a video before on Facebook a long time ago, probably during COVID or something, or before COVID. And the video was just saying 5 ways to faith. And it was all about your senses and how you can heighten, by heightening your senses, you can increase your faith, but also how your faith is increased if you're aware of your senses. Okay. So faith comes by hearing. Like, what was that? Let me see, because I didn't read this one yet. Where does your faith lie? So faith comes by hearing, and you have to pay attention to what you're hearing. You also really, I had this conversation again with one of my sons, and talking about casting out negative thoughts, negative thinking. I don't know if y'all realize it, but you hear your own thoughts. You can hear you thinking. And so if faith comes by hearing and you're constantly feeding yourself negative thoughts, you really have to be mindful of you. You have to be mindful to treat you better. You have to be mindful to talk to you better. If you don't have nobody to talk to you like that, don't talk to yourself like that. And that may sound silly, but it's so real, because we entertain negative thinking internally, and nobody knows that that's what we're battling, is ourselves. So be mindful of that, because that comes down to self-respect too. And like I said, we're going to get into it, but be mindful of how you speak to yourself in thoughts. Thoughts produce actions. Actions produce circumstances or situations of which may be consequential. And it may be contradictory as well to what it is you actually really want to have come to pass in your life. So be mindful of that. Be mindful of what you're thinking, and be mindful of where you're putting your faith. Have you ever put your faith in a liar? We all have. We're not going to act like we haven't. I'm pretty sure we've all put our faith in a liar before. Have you ever been that kid that's waiting for dad to show up or mom to show up? They never show up, but you put your faith in it. You put your faith in it. Okay. What about when you go to work? This person doesn't complete their own task, but you need them to do something for you because you need help, and you put your faith in that they're going to get it done, and they don't get it done. They don't get it done. Sheila said too many times. Yeah. Too many times we put our faith in things we know will fail us. And maybe that's why it's hard for us to put our faith in God, because God never fails. But most of the time we don't understand. And so since we don't understand, we look at that as, God, you just keep failing me. You just keep failing me. Like, you're not showing up for me. And that's not the case. God never fails us. But we have to work our faith and increase our faith. And in that, when it comes to like faith, hope, and love, the way that I tell my sons, and I tell others too, the way that you show your faith, the way you show your love is through the fruit of the Spirit. Patience, kindness, goodness, joy, long-suffering, self-control, kindness, peacefulness. Those are the ways that you show where your faith is. Those are ways that you show, even though love is one of the fruits of the Spirit, I believe that's also how you show love as well. It's by, exhibiting the fruits of the Spirit. Okay. So this last one here, this last point says, having faith does not mean we are free to boast. God is a God over all. Our faith does not make the law void. Instead, by faith, we uphold the law. The daily focus here says God rules over the just and the unjust. And the question for the day is, do you trust God? And that's really something to think about, because it comes down to that. You don't trust yourself because you don't trust God anyway. You're struggling with that over there. So how can you trust you if you don't even trust the God that created you? You don't even know why you're here. if we're going to be real about it, you don't know why you're here. And so how can you trust a God that you've never seen, yet you breathe air every second, even now? And you can't see it, but it's there. It's always there. It's always there. Even when it's hard to breathe, air is still there. So do you trust God? Do you want to trust God? That's something to really check yourself on. Do I want to trust God? Because you could know that God exists. Do you want to trust him or not? Okay. So guys, with these two books, you can find them at my website. This is the ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny and the Earthly Branches, a 12-book devotional series. 8 of the devotionals are out now. The other 4 will be coming whenever they get done. Okay. I'm still working on them. But we have gone through 6 of the 8 on this show. So head over to stalkyourdestiny.com/shop and you can purchase any of these books or any of my other books as well. We will be starting a new book. I think we're going to start ABCs to Stalk Your Financial Destiny for our food for thought quotes next. And then we're going to be starting either order or completion for the devotional. You guys, we're going to start that new devotional as well. So it's all newness. Welcome to spring as well, y'all. Welcome to spring. We had the first day of spring just a couple days ago. So hopefully your life is getting brighter. Hopefully you're breaking out of whatever you were going through or dealing with in the wintertime. And hopefully you're ready to experience more beauty in this season of life. Not just because outside is beautiful, but I hope that you feel more beautiful on the inside. I hope that you feel more able to handle whatever's ahead now. And I don't know where it came from, but maybe for me, myself, okay? I couldn't wait for winter to be over. And I love winter season. It's my favorite season. However, the winter season of life, for some reason, starting in the spring, this feels like the new year to me. I actually set my own calendar up beginning in April. So this is a new year to me. So for those of you who celebrate the new year in April, happy new year to you. We are in this new season. Okay. So now, guys, when I teach on Stalk Your Destiny, okay, this is where this part of the show is if you want to be a sponsor, this would be a portion where you could get a plug into what you're doing, whether you have a company, an event, a service, or products that you want to showcase. This is the portion of the show, one of the portions of the show where we would discuss what you have going on. But since I'm the sponsor right now for Stalk Your Destiny, I want to let you guys know you can sign up for the ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny classes online if you visit www.stan.store/stalk your destiny. Then you can click the link there to go register for classes, ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny. With that, you can take 1 class, 3 classes, 5 classes, or even all 8 classes. The classes are set up at 2 classes offered per week every Thursday, one at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time and one at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. Now, why would you want to take these classes? If you're somebody who's sick of staying at point A and you're like, I have these ideas, I want to go forward with it, I really don't know what to do or where to start, then this is for you. If you're someone who's like, my life has been what it's been, and right now I just want to shift, I want to change, these classes are for you. Why are these classes for you? Because in some of the classes, we do extra work, okay? We do work on a roadmap to success. That's your 10-year, 5-year, 3-year goals. We do work on your 1-year goal breakdown, okay? Because it's one thing to have a list of what you're going to do. It's another thing of having when you're going to get it done, okay? And then we also go over what your perfect day looks like. We go over that. And these classes are not pre-recorded classes. These are classes live with me. So if you have questions, if you have concerns, if you need to better understand whatever it is I'm teaching on, you can ask that question live and get help right there. What's it called? Real time. In real time. You can get what you need right there because it's small classes, interactive. There are only 10 slots for each class, okay? And only one of the 8 classes is held each month. So you want to head over to www.stan.store/stalk your destiny. And stalk is STALK, your destiny. Okay. Head over there, register for your classes, or head over to that website as well, www.stan.store/stalk your destiny, and see what other ways I can support you in your journey to stalking your destiny. Okay, so now we are at our business topic of the week, thanks to Sheila. Okay, and it is self-respect. I didn't add anything to it. I didn't take anything from it. Sheila asked about self-respect. That's what we're gonna get into. Okay. And so I want to read you guys my chapter Zeal. That's where we got the food for thought quote from. I want to read that to you guys first. And we're going to go from there as well. And it's not long either. So, you're stuck with me anyway. So listen in. And don't forget that you guys can comment below. You can chime into the conversation. I love hearing what you have to say. So don't forget that this is an open engagement show. All right. The definition of zeal, according to Google, is great energy or enthusiasm in pursuit of a cause or an objective. When you know your purpose or are seeking it out, you must not lose your zeal. Keeping your energy high and remaining enthusiastic won't always be easy. More often than not, though, you are able to get through the tough times in an easier fashion when you are very passionate about your pursuit. Keeping the fire burning is key. The struggle here is giving up too soon. Many people get deterred easily and early on because going after the life you desire to live requires risks to be taken. Losing to gain is hard to do, but what if you make it? Imagine all the enthusiasm you would have after you push through. That high energy level would kick off the next level in a great way. So keep your zeal when stalking your destiny. Share as much of it with others as you can. You never know who is watching and inspired by your actions and the way you go after your dreams. It is important to let your light shine for yourself and others. When others are motivated by you, you become even more motivated. So ways to keep your zeal include taking walks on a regular basis. Some ways to keep your zeal include taking walks on a regular basis. Exercise allows release and peace to flow. Gaining clarity in a serene environment helps keep your zeal as well. Laughter is always good medicine. Whether you are down or not, laughing helps you to feel better. When you feel better, you perform better. Feeling better comes in part with dressing for success, whatever that may be for your industry. Looking good and feeling good keep your energy and enthusiasm in the higher levels. When stalking your destiny, it is important that you enjoy your experience. Okay. Now, I told y'all I was going to share with you some of my story. Okay. Like how I got here. And let's talk about self-respect in that manner. Okay. Because keeping your zeal, yes, keeping positive and enthusiastic sounds good. Saying, oh, look the part. I look good today because I'm excited about today, but most days we're not, most days we can look good and we're not excited about the day at all. We just play dress up, we get up and play ball for the day. Self-respect in this aspect says, though, I value something about me. You got to be willing to find something. We talked about value a couple weeks ago, and you got to be willing to find something that you value about yourself, and you got to hold on to it with everything you've got, right? Because I could have lost my own self-respect. I could have lost it, y'all. With this, how did I get to this show? Let me just tell the story because I could go all over the place with this. I have been on this radio show, and I'm gonna go back to my business as well. Okay, because there was no self-respect. I don't think there was nothing to respect when I started this company 10 years ago today. Okay. Life was a shit show, literally, for me. So And going back to the radio show, I had been prepared to go from St. Louis, Missouri to Atlanta, Georgia. God told me that I was moving, told me don't renew my lease. I had a year to pack and really prepare for this, right? This was a faith move, okay? Because I didn't have the money to move. I didn't have a place to live. I didn't have a job waiting on me. I told you I've been doing my company for 10 years now. I didn't say it was lucrative, okay? I didn't say it was lucrative. Now, I did all of this by faith. I got from St. Louis, Missouri, and went to Atlanta. And this brings back the part where you say you never know who's watching you, okay? Because I'm about to tell you this journey is still ongoing, okay? So I went from St. Louis. I packed up what I could, put my stuff in storage. It was a lot of drama around getting last minute things together. However, God provided, right? He provided for me to make the move. And I had to leave everything. Like, I left my house, which I had been in for 4 years. The first time I felt like I was finally getting to a point of being stable on my own. Okay. So did that, left my house, left my kids, everything. I left everything. I gave up everything. I gave away clothes. I gave away shoes, put the rest of my stuff in storage. I left a lot of furniture in my house. Okay. And I went to Atlanta with no place to live, with no real income. Okay. Nothing. I went to Atlanta on faith. What did it say? On a wing and a prayer. I went to Atlanta on a wing and a prayer. Okay. Now, what happened is a family member was down there and in the music industry, and she connected me with someone else who also has a show on this station. Had to do it with Drea Nicole. Okay. Had to do it. The podcast. Check that out on Friday night, y'all. So, someone introduced me to Drea. Drea invited me to be a guest on her show on BFAM 1096. Okay. She had me come on and be a guest on her show. And from there, I got this opportunity with DC from what he heard me speaking about with my journey and everything with life and being on the radio and being a radio producer in the past as well. And so I got that opportunity. But guess what other opportunities came while I was in Atlanta? We can cue the music right now, because what other opportunities came? None. No other opportunities came. No new clients came in Atlanta, in regards to the environment. No income. Life did not get better when I made this move. How embarrassing is that? How embarrassing is that? I could have lost all respect for myself. I could have lost all respect for myself. But guess what? I had something to hold on to. I had a company that God had given me, Stalk Your Destiny. I had an assignment that God had given me, pick up and go to a place where I will show you. I had a message. God will provide for himself. Not one time did I go without food. Not one time did I go without shelter. Okay. And this is hindsight, because the shit was not pretty. It was not pretty at all. Nothing was pretty about it. It was grimy. Okay. I wasn't just, I started off in a beautiful hotel on a beautiful side of town. I ended up not there. Okay. Nothing about it was pretty. I could have lost all self-respect. Okay. But we have to honor ourselves, and we have to keep our faith. My faith was not in me. My faith was not in what Tara can do. Sheila said, wow, how inspiring. Thank you, Sheila. This is just a piece. This was just last year. Okay. And this is just a piece of last year. I'm not even getting to the grit of it all. Okay. But I kept my faith. I honored myself because I was honoring what God was doing. And that's all I had. Sometimes all you have is literally mustard seed faith. And I don't even know if I had the mustard seed. I believe that God was doing something, but I'm like, God, really, what you going to do? What are you going to do? Because I look ridiculous. I look stupid. I'm here going and I'm thinking I'm finna be prosperous. No prosperity came. Can you still go when God says go? Can you still move when God says move? Can you still honor yourself when life makes you look like a fool? This is where self-respect comes in it. This is where you have to keep your zeal. Okay? Keep your spiritual fervor, I think is what it's called, about yourself. You know, like all I had was my faith. All I had was the word of God. And the proof of what I had was all the journals and notes and directions God had given me. I wrote it down. And it says, write the vision, Habakkuk 2:3. Write the vision and make it plain so that a herald may run with it. Sometimes what we're doing is exactly for other people. We're here to serve. I say this all the time. Many members, one body. You're not doing things for yourself. So even in having self-respect, it's not about gloating for you. Having self-respect is about showing somebody else how you treat yourself. Showing somebody else that you matter enough to hold your head up. You matter enough to show up. You know, my aunt told me as a kid, and I always say it. I always say it. She always said, on your worst days, look your best. And that has stayed with me. Sheila said, God never promises wealth. Absolutely not. This is where I lose my self-respect. I am not sure I want to be the vessel he has chosen me to be. Tired of being broke, and it brings me down. Well, Sheila, I can tell you this. I'm still broke. 10 years into a business that I absolutely love. My freedom, I would never give up. I would never trade. I am still broke in terms of financially, not where I'm going. However, the seeds that I've planted from doing what God has told me to do over the last 10 years, in the blink of an eye, when y'all hear my name nationwide, in the blink of an eye, when you hear Tea Time with Tara nationwide, in the blink of an eye, when everything is syndicated, when you see book to movie deals happening, and you're like, I know her. Guess what, Sheila? For 10 years, God laid a foundation that now I can stand on for the next 10 ahead. And it's hard and it hurts. And you should never lose your self-respect if you are honoring you. I was embarrassed. I had to leave Georgia and come back to the Midwest. I never wanted to return to the Midwest. I never wanted to return. So where is your faith, and what do you like about you? About who you are? Where is your faith? It can be embarrassing. It can be so embarrassing to walk by faith, y'all. It can be so embarrassing. But again, this is where you keep your zeal. This is where on your worst days, you got to know that you were chosen, that you're called with a purpose. Okay. Like I had to write an affirmation. Let me see if I can find it real quick too. I had to write an affirmation for me about being chosen, because how dare I say, I feel anything other than honored to be chosen by God. Do you know how many lives I've changed? I cannot count how many lives I've changed, even just doing this show. This show has been reaching over 200,000 listeners for the past few weeks now. Okay. And today, we're going to say that too. And today, and it's still growing. God told me you have a voice and it needs to be heard. All I'm doing is opening my mouth, and I've been embarrassed from day one, y'all. I felt disqualified. I felt underqualified since day one when God chose me to do this. God chose me, a stay-at-home mom, a stay-at-home wife, who my husband at the time was like, you don't have no personality, which was a lie. Okay, we're not gonna get into that today, but telling me, you know, you don't have a personality. And I didn't. I disappeared. I disappeared from my own life to start this. To start this, everything you want to become, you already are. Tea Time with Tara, y'all. Let me just go a little deeper for you today. Tea Time with Tara, and I'm looking for that affirmation as well. But Tea Time with Tara started because I was a stay-at-home mom without, like, I didn't feel like I didn't have any support. He went to work every day, but the marriage was hell. Okay. The marriage was hell. My children are stair-step babies, literally back to back to back. Right now, they are 13, 12, and getting ready to be 11 in just a few days. So literally stair-step babies. I was partially paralyzed after having each of them. And so no support. And I'm a wife who cooks 3 times a day, takes care of all the kids, takes care of the house, all of that. Okay. What self-respect? I didn't have time for me. So I started Tea Time with Tara because I was like, God, I need something. And if I could have 5 minutes a day and a hot cup of tea, it was a good day. All I needed was one thing. Well, in that 5 minutes a day, I also had a shower. So I had a shower and a scorching hot cup of tea. And if that was all I had, Sheila, that was my self-respect. That was it. I needed that 5-minute moment. And if I had that, everything else in the day was worth it. Everything else in the day. But God took that 5 minutes and he turned it into 15 minutes. And in the 15 minutes, I started going on Instagram and encouraging others because I needed it. I needed encouragement. And I started saying, if you can see the sun shining today, it's going to be a beautiful day. Like, I hope you have an amazing day. I hope that you laugh today. I hope your spirit lights up today. I would go online to encourage somebody else. With the 15 minutes I had, make a little longer shower, let my teeth cool down just a little bit, okay? And then guess what? That 15 minutes turned to an hour, which I call the hour of power. That was my time with God. I could take a shower, I could breathe, I could sit down, I could read, I could pray, I could encourage others. But we're blessed to be chosen by God. It's not many people who are chosen. I know people think that they're just the best at everything, or, you know, God's gift to whatever. But they're full of shit. And I'm just going to leave it there. That's what they're full of. We're full of themselves. Okay. And us being chosen by God, it's very hard. It's hard. It's hard to be a woman. And I'm just telling y'all, this is going to be real today. Okay. It's hard to be the woman who stands up and says, guess what, guys? Today is my 10-year business anniversary. And here's the reality. I still make the least amount of money of everyone around me. But guess what? When the time is right, and it won't be a moment too soon, when the time is right, I will excel and exceed every person I've ever met financially. And you know what they're going to do? Praise God. Not me. They're going to praise God because they're going to see, as many have seen over the last 10 years anyway, I do what he says do. Okay. And so now the affirmation that I chose says, I am grateful to be chosen by God to see another day, to serve in love, to receive blessings and lessons in spirit and in truth. That's the affirmation. I'm grateful to be chosen by God to see another day, to serve in love, because who's better to do it than me? Who's better to change a life with faith, hope, love, and leadership than I am? Who's better to do it? Me. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And if I don't love me, then I have to fill up on God's love for me, because his love for me is, oh my God, his love for you is, if you could count it up, like just try to count up how much God loves you. Sheila, God loves you so much, he put you here so I can give you his love. I'm literally the walking example of faith, hope, and love and leadership. I have been that in my life, God's example of that. So if you got to come back every week, any of you listening, if you got to come back here every week just to fill up on the love that I put out and pour out into this is for you. This is why God said you have a voice and it needs to be heard. I'm only on video because that's just the world we live in. I don't like being on camera. I didn't like hearing my voice before I got on radio. But guess what? My self-respect comes from knowing that I was chosen. Knowing that I'm chosen helps me get through the tears. Knowing that I'm chosen, and I've changed lives. Knowing that I can literally change anybody's life every day. A new person. I can change a new person every day. Sheila said, you have me crying in happiness at my cubicle. Yes, good, Sheila. I'm sure my workmates are on the way to me. Thank you so much. Yes. And good. Let it out too. Like, rejoice because you are chosen. And you're chosen at that job. You're probably there for them. Look at that. If they are running towards you and you're crying and you have joy, guess what? You matter. And that's what we talked about, last week, I think? You matter. So, Sheila, you might have to go back and watch all of these shows, because I literally went from A to Z of the ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny. And these topics are for people like you. Self-respect is just acceptance. You are who God said you are. You are who God said you are, even when it hurts. And I know pain. I know pain. I know so much pain. And I carry it. Okay? I know how to carry it. but I also know how to give it over to God. Okay. So where is your faith in you? And what do you like about who you are? Y'all, anybody listening, if you don't like who you are, change it. Stop waiting on somebody to do it for you. Stop waiting on something major in life has to happen before I change who I am. If you don't like you, don't nobody else like you either. Get your shit together, literally. Get it together. Okay? If you don't like you, you can make a choice to change one thing about yourself. One thing, I think I said it before, like to start loving on yourself, women can put on a shade of lipstick every day. It helps. It changes everything about how you see yourself and how you show up for you. Put on some lipstick, find your color. And men and women can put on your favorite scent, cologne, perfume. It does something to your senses. Okay? It adds to your zeal. It adds to the way you think and feel about yourself and everybody around you. It does something to you. Okay. So be kind to you. If you don't treat you with the fruit of the Spirit, please start doing that. Be gentle with yourself. Be patient with yourself. Loving, kind, be good to you. Understand that you may suffer long, but you can have self-control. Maintain your self-control. Have peace about it. Make peace with yourself. One of the hardest things I've noticed is that people have a hard time making peace with situations. And you hear a lot of people that say it is what it is, but they say it like out of anger. Oh, it is what it is. It is what it is, whatever, right? Make peace with that. Let it truly be what it is. That's acceptance. It just is what it is. And that's nothing more, nothing less. Okay. Hopefully this show helped you guys today. It is my 10-year business anniversary. It's a long road, but guess what? It's a beautiful, beautiful foundation that God has laid before me to stand up on. Not only am I here with you guys at Tea Time with Tara live and on air, but I have a show, the Tea Time with Tara show, where I interview guests. Not only do I have that, but I have written and published 13 of my own books. I've worked on almost 10 other people's books. I believe 10 other books that I've worked on. They've only published a few of those as well. I have produced a line of planners and accountability tools for people like you. I've created journals for people like you and me, you know. And so not only that, I've been in radio since 2017, producing radio, co-hosting radio, on the morning show with radio. And here we are. Okay. And in this time, I told y'all it's 10-year business anniversary. My children are just now 13, 12, and 11. So imagine that 1, 2, and 3-year-old. I started with the 1, 2, and 3-year-old. Okay. Broken. A mess. All right. Thank God for this foundation I get to stand on, because the next 10 years ahead, you're going to hear more about Tea Time with Tara. You're going to hear more about Tara M. Williams. There's more books coming. There's courses coming to a school near you. ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny is online right now. Okay. So don't despise or deny small beginnings. If anybody knows how hard it is, I do. 10 years in business, and I feel like I can't stand on my own 2 feet yet. However, I've changed so many lives, and my products and my services still are changing lives to this day. I would not trade it for the world. And it's a platform that nobody else can say they gave to me, that I can stand on, because I walk by faith and not sight. And I did what God said and made the things that, what does it say? Hebrews 11:3, so that what is seen was made out of what was not visible. The evidence of my last 10 years of business, my first 10 years of business, is the fruit of the things God told me to do, and I produced, and He allowed me to produce. So don't be discouraged in that. Don't be discouraged in that. All right, y'all. If you want to be a sponsor of the show, you want to run an ad, you have a business, you have a product, a service, an event coming up, or you just want to shout out the show, please email me at teatimewithtara, TEATIMEWITHTARAH @gmail.com. That's teatimewithtara @gmail.com to be a sponsor for the show. I can send you our sponsorship package, or we can talk about how I can help you and you can help me in terms of sponsoring an ad or ad space on this show. So go ahead and send me an email at teatimewithtara@gmail.com. Even your work, Sheila, if y'all want to sponsor the show, let your job know. They can send me an email at teatimewithtara@gmail.com. If you just want to send a donation into the show, you love what we're doing here. Everything that I'm doing is what God told me to do with this show, which is why we have food for thought. This is why we have a devotional, and then we have a business topic of the week. For donations, you can donate at Cash App at hashtag or $ Stalk Your Destiny. You can donate at Venmo at Stalk Your Destiny, or you can donate via paypal.me/Stalk Your Destiny. Thank you, Sheila. She said, I will definitely put this on my social media. Thank you so much. Gonna hit your Cash App. Thank you so much, Sheila. And so those of you who do want to donate, donations are anything you want to give. There's nothing too big or too small for donations. That's Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal, all at Stalk Your Destiny. This show was great, Sheila. I'm so grateful you gave me the topic to wrap up my book, ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny, talking about zeal, honoring yourself, having respect. It was just right on point, especially right on point with me celebrating my 10-year business anniversary as well. We go through the ups and downs, but you traverse it no matter what. You traverse it no matter what. Stalkers don't quit, y'all. Stalkers don't quit. And with Stalk Your Destiny, everything you want to become, you already are. It's already inside of you. We have everything we need. We are capable, able, just got to be willing to stalk your destiny, okay? All right, y'all, this has been Tea Time with Tara, live and on air. I am your host, Tara M. Williams, the voice of faith, hope, love, and leadership. Here we discuss business and Bible basics. We believe you have a voice and it needs to be heard. Don't forget to head over to my YouTube page at Stalk Your Destiny. Hit the subscribe button, share this with somebody else, and let them know we're here every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also on my YouTube page, you can catch episodes of the Tea Time with Tara show, season 1 and season 2. I do have some great interviews coming up soon, and we'll be working on season 3 as well. So, and there I asked them what they need along the way to stalking their journey as well, guys. Again, I am Tara M. Williams, the voice of faith, hope, love, and leadership. This has been Tea Time with Tara, live and on air. See you back Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye.
I'm steady chasing, I'm staying focused on what I'm gonna bring. I'm making nothing down, but I won't lose ground. 'Cause I'm still stuck in my destiny.
I'm still stuck in my destiny. Oh. Every time it's on everything, the lie you cheesing, I'm cheddaring. No matter the form of the weaponry, gotta keep stalking my destiny. Time's getting worse, I'm bettering. My sin is secure, ain't no tethering. I ain't gonna stop till I rest in peace and they put so hard on my great lettering. Every time, I ain't lay back unless I'm in my 300. Circle is little, cause I keep it 100. Minus my issues, I'm so hard when I'm on it. 100% ain't enough, I get 200. Every time, know what I'ma run from. I'm the one opponent, you don't want none from. Manual back where my strength get pumped from. So what's the lie to the child of God? Standing toe to toe, no hiding now. The Lord is with me, you can't fight the rock. I got the sauce, you want to hide. It's with the destiny mine, I'ma stalk it out. The strength assassin, you just bought it out. Your giant carcass, I'ma walk it out. You gon' be wishing that you wouldn't have called me out. Cause every time be on that throw down, let's get us a showdown. Come and get something, got another go around. Big as they is, so hard they go down. Since destiny something we can't change, but quitting will stop you from great gains. And faith will make capable great things. I done decided to break pain. Lives around and call me on my A game, so speed like the A train. The path that I'm stalking on, I gotta maintain. I'm by myself, I don't gang bang. When you want to get in my crown, then I'm down every time, not just now and then. Yeah, I heard you got your thousands, but me, yo, I got my 10,000s. God gave me dreams doing that I would chase them.
I'm steady chasing, I'm staying focused